In this week's Parsha of Beshalach, Miriam sings a song after the most incredible event in history takes place, Kriyas Yamsuf, the splitting of the sea. Why did Miriam have to sing her own song? Didn't the entire Jewish nation sing one already? Additionally, the wording in the pasuk introducing Miriam singing her song is Miriam Hanaviyah Achos Aaron, Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron. There is no mention of Moshe, who she was a sister to as well. You see, the emphasis here is on Miriam, who received a nevuah before Moshe was born, when she was then only a sister to Aaron. The nevuah she had was about the future birth of Moshe, who would later redeem Bnei Yisrael out of the trenches of Mitzrayim. Miriam's parents had separated because of the genocide decreed on each baby boy and the drowning that awaited them as they were thrown into the Nile. But Miriam's nevuah that her parents would give birth to the Redeemer of Klal Yisrael was shared, and so her parents reunited, and lo and behold, they gave birth to baby Moshe. But after 3 months of hiding Moshe, his mother could no longer keep him. His cries were getting louder, and the secrecy of his whereabouts would be found out soon. Paro's soldiers were everywhere, looking for babies and ready to kill. And so, Moshe's mother took a basket and spread pitch around it, put her baby inside, and placed the basket on the Nile River. Now, what do you think are the chances of a baby surviving that? What are the chances when Paro's soldiers are everywhere, hungry for murder, hungry for destruction and control? What are the chances of survival for a defenseless baby in the reeds? What do you think? And would you be able to watch what would most likely happen next? Probably not. But Miriam did. She watched from afar to see what would in fact happen. Who in their right mind would have the capacity to see their little brother in the water surrounded by reeds and Egyptian soldiers waiting to pounce? How could Miriam watch this? Miriam could watch, and I'll tell you why. She knew and trusted that something positive would take place. She believed in the impossible and knew that everything was truly possible. She believed in a future, the future of her prophecy, even though it seemed quite insane. And to make matters worse, who showed up next? None other than the daughter of the man who was executing the killings of all Jewish baby boys. Would you say game over, I give up, or would you keep on believing? Well, Miriam did more than believe. She knew. She knew it would be good, and that is what allowed her to watch from afar. Instead of freezing in fear, delving into despair, or screaming it's unfair, Miriam kept on watching, and as events unraveled, Paro's daughter embraced this child, and Miriam asked if she could bring a Jewish mother to nurse this child. And so, not only is this child saved and raised in the palace of the man who decreed murder for this boy, but he is nursed by his own Jewish mother. As the exit out of Mitzrayim ensues, and the grand crescendo of Kriyas Yamsuf takes place, Miriam stands from afar and sings her own song, a song of praise of the fulfillment of her nevuah in finality, now that the oppressors have been destroyed. Now her brother Moshe has truly been the messenger to bring the Jewish nation to complete redemption. We learn from Miriam the power of bitachon, what it means to truly trust, what it means to be able to keep your eyes open in anticipation of something good amidst the chaos and turmoil of circumstances that only seem to work against you. There is a difference between Amunah and bitachon. Amunah is the steadfast belief that there is a greater picture than what is being shown to you, and that events that seem wrong and unfair are in fact somehow part of the greater good. But bitachon is deeper. Bitachon is a knowing of good that is taking place through this process that seems painful and even destructive. But within the confines and limitations of your painful experience, right now, you are being delivered the exact salvation you're calling out for. That is bitachon. No matter how bleak the situation seems, there is an inner peace that is felt from within, a deep knowing that the challenges of your life are working for you, not against you, bringing you not farther from the place you want to be, but rather closer, even though it doesn't seem to make any sense. That is why it is written twice that Miriam stood from afar. This reflected her belief and trust that her brother would be the Redeemer of Klal Yisrael. He would live and survive and even thrive, although she hadn't a clue as to how. Not only did Miriam's nevuah come to fruition, but within the jaws of the monster, Moshe was raised. Within Paro's house himself was Moshe saved. The man who had ordered all boys to die saved the only one he truly wanted to kill. That is what bitachon is, an awareness of the negativity working for you, for your redemption and your salvation, and that through that, a joy, a peace, a calm that takes you over and mirrors your inner belief in a picture that you see before you physically experience it. And before Bnei Yisrael can experience the cataclysmic divine intervention of an ocean splitting and a nation being saved, they too are given a choice of faith, of bitachon, of belief in a redemption that doesn't seem possible. And so, Bnei Yisrael mirror on a macro national level the faith and bitachon that was learnt from Miriam. And so, although Am Yisrael sang Shira, Miriam said, "It is time to finally sing my own, because I have seen within the trenches of destruction this vision of salvation that for the first time is a physical reality." Miriam's nevuah and belief in a redemption that was promised had finally come to its maximum fruition. And so Miriam, who had stood afar as she watched her brother's survival story, stood from afar once again and watched a nation's survival story, reflecting her inner knowledge of a story that was not new, a story that she had known for a long time and had started through her belief of a baby that would not drown.